Shalom. Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. I want to give a double honor to the elders and to the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who do rule well, and a salutation to the whole for elect. It's Brother Damawa from the GMS Cleveland branch coming back with another video, and we're going to get straight into it.
President Trump hit back at Tucker Carlson, who called the Iran war absolutely disgusting and evil. Quote, Tucker has lost his way, Trump told me. I knew that a long time ago, and he's not MAGA. MAGA is saving our country. MAGA is making our country great again. MAGA is America first. What a lie. And Tucker is none of those things. And Tucker is really not smart enough to understand that.
See, and the hidden agenda, all right, because they're trying to make the white man somewhat feel some type of way with the forefathers, right? With Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and all them niggas, right? Who supposedly helped found this place or did significant things to help the stronghold of the white man, Esau Edom, all right, gain his status over here in the Americas. Okay, and what we're seeing is basically, all right, you got Edomites like Tucker Carlson, who may be an Israelite, all right, but he looked like an Edomite, all right. So basically, these Edomites, all right, is not agreeing, all right, with the whole notion of make America great again and America first. Well, I can't say that part because they with that. They with the white man running shit. All right. Basically, America is overran, all right, with Israelites, immigrants, all right. So-called white man is like the least in rebirthing, all right. So if they're not outpopulated now, they're going to be very soon. Okay. And so, but basically, what you have here is two different classes of Edomites, all right, that's about to have division amongst each other, okay? And again, Trump first his first tenure, right, in the president office, okay, was to rejuvenate the so-called white man, all right? And now basically, all right, what this term is showing them is that was all smoke and mirrors. All right, it's basically Trump is basically for the elites. All right, and when they founded this place, this were their ideal as well. All right, they was never for the so-called regular, everyday white man. All right, they was for the elites. All right, but they needed a way to utilize and basically put their whiteness as supreme, and that's when they gave all the regular Edomites, all right, they came over from Spain, from Germany, right, and from Europe, basically, all right, to help fight against our brothers here, all right, the so-called Indians, all right, and basically gave them rights and things that they didn't deserve, all right, and it's always been like that. You so-called white people have always took advantage of your so-called whiteness and your so-called history, all right, which is nothing but bloodshed, all right. But let's get this real quick, and then we're gonna get back into the clip. Ezekiel 35:6, right? It says, "Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee." All right. And when you go down to the next verse, it goes into what Mount Seir, all right, which is speaking about what the territory and the capital of the land of Edom, all right, the so-called white man, all right, because Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is linked with end time prophecy, and what we're watching and what we're witnessing, all right, with this third war being on the horizon is the downfall of Esau Edom, the so-called white man power structure in the world. All right, so Ezekiel 35:6, "Therefore, as I live, said the Lord of power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou, since, thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so these niggas did not hate blood when they shared it. All right, to build up the Roman Empire, right, of the Greek Empire, right, to build up Germany, all the Moors and France and Spaniard, you know, and basically building up America. All right, taking us from the west coast of Africa, right, taking our brothers from this land and shipping them up there to Europe and taking our other brothers, binging them, all right, putting them on islands and things of this nature, all right. And in the process of them doing that, they shed hell of our blood, all right. They like to bring up that so-called Holocaust, all right. They talk about 3 million, all right, but when you go into the land of trade slaves, all right, it was so many millions of people dying just to get over into America, to where the bull sharks, all right, was following those boats years and years after me, all right, because they was used to the dead bodies being thrown over and just the captives being thrown over, all right, which were Israelites, all right. So these people's history is very bloody, all right. How many times have they pulled off the Black Wall Street and these other examples of the so-called white man when he gets in that Ku Klux Klan, right, mind state, all right. These people have did everything, all right, in the name of murder, okay. And so the Lord is basically telling you, all right, dealing with Esau Edom, since he didn't hate blood, blood is going to pursue him, all right. And so when you bring that back to topics like this is why Edomites like Tucker Carlson don't understand the animosity that Trump is giving these other nations, all right. And guess what? It's not going to make any sense, all right, because what they have to do is what he already acknowledged, and that's what? Fulfill Armageddon, all right, to fulfill their lot. Okay, they can't do nothing about it. Even if he somehow, some way, right now today, come up with a epiphany to stop the war, right? By the time he go to sleep and wake up, he gonna have a whole different other spirit on him. All right, as the scripture says, once a man sleep, then the Lord sealeth his instructions. All right, so a man can't do what he want. All right, so basically, what we're witnessing, all right, is a Lord plaguing these goddamn white people, all right, to the point to where they're going to war with everybody, including themselves, all right, because again, the scripture says what? Since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee, all right. So all their so-called meetings and all their so-called roundtable brainstorming is going to eventually lead to just more wars, right? More blood being shed, because that's the way the Lord want these people to go out.
And Tucker is really not smart enough to understand that. Look, delusional, like absolutely delusional in every way, shape, or form. How is fighting a war on behalf of a foreign country America first? And you're going to call Tucker Carlson dumb? Look, as much as, members of our audience might disagree with Tucker Carlson, and I totally respect that, you can't call the guy dumb. He's not a dumb guy. And he is absolutely correct on the issue of Israel and Iran. But I'm curious what you think, Shank.
Yeah, so it's now open warfare. Before, Tucker's saying some nice things. He still says something nice afterwards about Trump. We'll get to that in a minute. But Trump is saying that I said, I'm done with Tucker Carlson. I'm done with Megyn Kelly. He's done with Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's done with Tom Massey. But those are four of the most, I was going to say true blue, but I guess true red, right? Conservatives, right-wingers, MAGA, America First, there is. So.
Right. You see? And so now the whole galvanizing, right, of the so-called white pride and the right Edomite was just a cover and a front, which we've been telling you, all right, because what's coming, the New World Order is not, they don't give a fuck about your color on the New World Order. It's all about bloodline and elite, if you're an elite or not, all right. And so what we're seeing is that separation and that class, that class being separated, happening right before our eyes right now. Okay, let's grab this real quick because again, we're dealing with end time prophecies now because we're in the end times. All right, and these prophecies are jumping off the pages. All right, and a lot of people is going to look at what's going on as a lot of confusion. All right, but we know through the Spirit, it is going to be a lot of judgment going on. All right, but it's all going to lead to the same thing. Here we go, 2nd Esdras 15-14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. Right, man, because these countries have, including America, have technology, war utensils, right, with this new technology that they haven't even thought of, right, that the population haven't even thought of. All right, these people got them technology, man. That they don't even have to go inside your house. All right, and they can give your ass a heart attack. Okay, but it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Okay, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions should stand in their power. All right, and when it says that they should not regard their king or princes, meaning that these red-blooded Edomites, all right, that you see, America First Edomites, eventually they're going to stop listening to the so-called presidents and to their governors and to their rulers. All right, they're going to take up arms and they're going to basically do what they want to do. All right, or do what they deem is fitting. All right, they're not going to listen to those broadcasting news advisories and you should do this or you should do that. All right, a lot of these red-blooded Edomites, right, they're going to be beefing with Jake too. All right, that's why I call Jacob trouble. Okay, but they're going to be looking for these elites as well. All right, all your governors and all these people who then made these policies, all right, is going to become a target in these days. All right, and this is the beginning of it. This is the creation of it. All right, now they're basically drawing the line in the sand. All right, even with Trump saying this, Tucker trying to tell the truth, but not burn the bridge with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump basically saying, to hell with all you so-called red ringers, right? All you so-called MAGAs, right? The face of MAGAs. Y'all not MAGAs anyway. All right, so that right there goes to show you that Trump was never for y'all in the first place. He was always for the Israeli what you call that when they buy politicians and shit. But that's basically what Trump is in for. All right, he's in for the ones lobbyists, for the Israel lobbyists. All right, that's what that's the bidding that this man is doing. It's not for the so-called red-blooded Edomites. I mean, for the red-blooded patriots, right? That's only beneficial when they want to use the white versus black, okay? Or like that's only beneficial when they want racism to be the key holder for the average Israelite, you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, to accomplish anything. They would rather give it to people that look like them before they give it to you, all right? But when it comes to classes and who they basically creating this new world for, it's not for you, goddamn six-pack Joe Edomites. It ain't for you trailer park Edomites, all right? They hate y'all too, okay? But let's get this clip real quick. And again, don't forget Tucker said that that war was disgusting, right, and shameful. Okay, let's not forget that those were the key words. All right, and he's right. Okay, because again, this points to them to be the Edomites in the Bible, but also it gives credence, all right, to the Hebrew Israelites who've been out here preaching and telling you the truth. All right, but check this one out.
We're Israel. Just a reminder to all our Please stand up as a Marine.
The Capitol Police will escort any protesters out of the hearing room.
Out. No one.
We ask for
What's
calm
the fuck?
Goddamn Edomites. Look, it took 6 of them for one dude.
hearings.
For Israel.
Nobody wants to fight for Israel. Okay, and this is a Marine, high status too. You see his nice little uniform. All right, but you see them other Edomites. You see, and that's one thing about these people, man. These people are fucking. They'll never get anywhere because they don't value the things that it need or that is needed, right, to create harmony and peace. All right, this man's the only one standing up, telling them that it's wrong, and yet and still, even if the people who grabbing him feel that way, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do what their king tell them to do. They're going to do what their job tell them to do. All right, these people will not do the right thing if it came to them being uncomfortable, and that's why these are not the people. All right, now Israelites, we ain't got too much to brag on. All right, but we have people, all right, that it came before, that it stood on what, dying on what, telling the truth. All right, but as these people here go, even with Tucker Carlson in the last video, he told a little bit of the truth, but he still didn't want to make things bad with the Edomite. I mean, with Donald Trump. All right, so again, these people are not the real people of the Lord. All right, because they don't have any integrity. All right, nothing tells them that, hey, this is wrong. All right, you may have your few. All right, and those may be the Israelites of Edom, looking like Edom. All right, those may be our people that just look like them. All right, but all in all, these people, all right, if they had to go ahead to kill somebody, all right, or like to unalive somebody, even a child, and they don't have to face the repercussions, of course these people will, without a heartbeat. All right, but again, what we seeing, or like when we see these things, we see the scriptures jumping off the page. All right, a lot of people just look at a lot of things going on right now, but we look at a lot of prophecy going on right now. All right, but this is Ecclesiastes 41:7. It says, the children will complain of an ungodly father because they should be reproached for his sake. Woe unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High, for if ye increase, it should be to your destruction. Okay, and that's who these Edomites are, the white man. He is the most ungodly creature that the Lord has created. All right, and you can see with the power in this man's hand what type of life that he would have laid out before your eyes. All right, this nigga's trying to pass a law. Well, he passed the law. All right, I believe it started this year or next year, but all the children being born got to be born with the RFID. All right, so that right there let you know that these people whole plan is to make the world their slaves. All right, but back here it says the children will complain of an ungodly father. All right, and that's what these Edomites are doing right now. All right, but where they fail to realize that is that the pride of America is a false notion within itself, because again, Donald Trump is just an extension of what your leaders, right, your so-called forefathers, right, who founded this place America, which was already discovered. All right, but to stick with the story, who founded America, this was the same shit that they was on. What Trump is doing is the exact same shit of what they did to even acquire America and all these other governing cities. All right, they betrayed the so-called Indians, betrayed our brothers, and you niggas mark that day as Thanksgiving. All right, so again, woe, Ecclesiastes 41:8, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High. Power, all right, because a part of that law is what? You're not supposed to really do that to your brother. All right, it's a law, and you Edomites are the Israelites' brothers. All right, and you niggas been broke that brotherly covenant. All right, y'all been warring with us. All right, killing our people for no reason. All right, out of hatred and jealousy. Okay, But it says, woe unto you ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High. For if ye increase, it should be for your destruction. So right now, them building and them trying to take over Venezuela and do all these other things, Trump trying to show that the white man still has it, it's only going to be for your destruction. All right, even if the Lord do allow you to spread a couple more bases real quick and all the shit, it's only going to be for your destruction. All right.
What's the fight
Hearings.
for Israel?
His hand, his hand. Oh, his hand.
That's the spirit of the Lord too. That's the spirit of the Lord. Like the Lord wanted all that to come out. They could not grip this nigga hand from the door. You hear the little chick sound like a goddamn black woman. They hear like I can't stand these people, bro, because at the end of the day, they are really fighting for this kingdom. These are the people that's gonna fight against our Lord, bro. Like, fuck these people, bro. Like, these people wicked as hell, bro. Like, they're wicked, bro. Just because they got a little job and they live better than the average, they are willing to burn the whole world to keep it like that. These people have to go, right? These people have to fucking go. And they don't even understand, since they think they so tough and so powerful, the Lord is going to give them more smoke than what they able to digest. You hear me? Because these people, like, they think that they ready. All right? Like their pride is high, and they think the Lord ain't gonna bring that drama. All right, but you don't understand the Lord. The Lord is very drama. That's where you get the word drama from. He loves drama. All right, and you niggas going down, the so-called white man going down, your whole power structure, all the people that believe in your system, right? It's gonna be beautiful, man, to see the day, man, when the Lord is totally flattening you people and your opinions, right, and your washed up ass ways is not going to even be spoken of anymore. If we hear some shit about you trying to tell a woman that she can do this and that, man, you're going to get stumped out, man, in the kingdom, man. Like all these old false hope, all this old false aggravation, all right, because that's all it is. Our spirit be vexed dealing with these people because they aggravate our spirit, because these people really hate nature. They're trying to come up with their own nature, all right, and let technology create it. These people are fucking weirdos, man. But Salakia, Ecclesiastes 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set one over it that is profitable. Okay, so right now, watching these people talking about their leaders is beautiful. All right, because there is a bunch of fucking misfits, man. They're a bunch of misfits, man. All right, man, but get straight to the point. Ecclesiastes 7:8. It says, pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries got, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So again, these motherfuckers did all this shit, right? Pursued hella blood to establish America and their throne, right? And now that the time of the Lord got them going in division, right? The fucking EU about to break up, right? NATO about to break up, right? All this divine coming, right? Now this is the time for us to rejoice, all right? Because now the Lord is dealing. Because again, what did the other scripture says in Sirach 41, right? To that if they increase, it's only going to be for their destruction, all right? So the more that they try to spread that American rhetoric, democracy and all this old wickedness, right? All this wickedness that they like to promote, it's just gonna be more places that's going to get hit with the missile, right? And it's just gonna be more people that's going to go up on that memory wall. All right. So with that, I pray that was edifying. I pray it made sense. All right. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and give a double honors to the elders and to the apostles of GMS. Shalom, y'all.